Hello guys, morning. I hope everyone is doing well today. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. I hope all is well. Shout out to the subscribers. Big respect to anybody new. Gratitude to all. This video, we're going to be talking about the jab again. I know I do a lot of videos on the jab. I do a lot of videos on footwork. I constantly try to drill home the importance of having both of those, keeping your hands up and just drilling home the fundamentals. Because as a beginner, as a boxer, even if you're very advanced or a beginner, those things will make you infinitely better. And you'll put you in basically the top 10%, I think, roughly, that will be very, very, very hard to beat. So if you master those three things, you're well on your way. Let's go.
Boxing.
Oh, what an absolutely glorious day. I was just down here shooting a little commercial that I'm trying to put together for this channel. And I was like, wow, this would be so rude of me not to make a video in this weather. I usually come down here in the morning and it's like 6 a.m. when I come down here. It's kind of still not quite light. But now it's like 10 o'clock in the morning. The light is beaming and this is going to make for a much better video. So I was on my way home and I was like, let me just make another video about the jab because I love talking about the jab. Anyway, let's just make sure my audio's on. Right. I've done several videos about work the jab. This is going to be another version of that, but I want to really zoom in and talk about the shoulder movement, right? Or, you know, changing from an arm punch, which is this, right, to that. And if you see the difference right there, and this is a big part of this channel, is there's things that you can do as a beginner right now, right? If you're watching this right now, that I'm like, you can do it right now. There's no reason that you can't push your shoulder out like that, right? It's not that hard. You push your shoulder out, right? I'll give you a different view in a second, but if you're jabbing like this, all right, that's not so bad, you know what I mean? If you get a nice snap on it like that, bah, 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 it's not so bad. You know, you turn in the shot, I've made a load of videos about that. This is okay. But then you put that shoulder through it, boom, right? And I'm not moving very far, boom, boom. That's a nice snappy jab. And I swear that I'm like, you can do it today. Massive part of this channel is having beginners understand that there's a higher level waiting for you, right? To massively improve your punches today. Massive part of this channel is having beginners understand that there's a higher level waiting for you, right? To massively improve your punches today, right? Talking about shoulder rotation, right? You're telling me from a right hand, from doing this, you can't do that. You can do that. You can put your shoulder through it. Same with the jab, right? You can turn the punches, right? I'm not saying they're going to be perfect. I'm not saying you're going to not have difficulties getting it consistent, but understanding what you need to do is actually a lot more easier than you realize, you know? Obviously you have to practice, you have to apply yourself. I just made a video on application and practicing yesterday, and thank you to anybody that's been reaching out to me and, you know, leaving some really kind messages. You know, it's like I'm trying to get through all of them. There's a lot of, you know, some of the messages are quite long. I'll read them all. Do you know what I mean? I really do. There's a couple I need to respond to, but I will respond to everybody. And I just need a minute or two because I've been quite busy, you know, in the morning with a lot of other stuff too, and this commercial, like I said. But, you know, I've lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh yeah, let me change the angle and I will talk about what you can do quickly, because that's the part of this channel, is having you understand that things that you can get much better at aren't that far away for you. See, another part of this channel is stuff like this, you know, photography and videography, which, you know, I'm no expert on, but, you know, I find it very interesting, and I try to get, you know, nice shots in the park and nice camera angles and make it, you know, I don't know, just a bit more artistic. You know, I'm an artist, really, a musician, like, you know, aspiring anyway, and I bring that to this channel. So, you know, I'm sure a lot of people probably won't care about that, but I do, and maybe the ones that do will understand it a bit more. But anyway, let's talk about this shoulder rotation, right? Obviously, as always, when you're throwing any punch or you're doing anything in boxing, you need a good stance. I've made loads of videos about that, and I will constantly bang on about the importance of having a good stance. For example, if I'm like this straight here, I'm square on, and, like, you know, I'm upright like this, you really think I can get a good shoulder rotation? You can't, right? You can't. So Just a simple good stance like this, boom, right? That's not even really me pushing the shoulder forward, boom. If I really want to dig it forward, boom, boom, right? I'm rocking a little bit. Then I could step with it, right? And when I say step with it, I mean the front foot, okay? Because when you step in like that, that's a power jab. Because when you step in like that, that's power jab. By definition, because you're bringing your body through. You're bringing your weight through, all right? That is like a step jab, boom. But the shoulder, if you don't want to step or if you haven't got to that level yet, that's totally fine. I want you to just practice, boom, pushing that shoulder, turning that shoulder. I'm going to zoom in a minute to really show you what I'm doing, because you can do it, as I keep saying, boom. Let's get right up close and really let me show you what we're doing here, right? And as I made a video the other day, when you're throwing a jab, right? I'm throwing a jab like this. Look how impenetrable my chin is, really, right? The chin, yeah, you can get the top part here, but the chin is very, very tight like that. If I'm throwing jabs like that, boom, boom, right? I'm tucked in here, elbows right here, bow. Yes, again, I always sort of pivot to a higher level, but I just do it because sometimes I feel like it might be interesting to you. You know, maybe you hadn't thought of it like that, or maybe you're just curious about, I'm certain I didn't fight anywhere near a very high level. I was still a novice really, but I constantly trained and constantly tried to get better, constantly read. I'm obsessed with boxing, and I wake up every day and I know nothing about the sport. That's my mentality. And I have access to extremely high level, and I'm always asking the guys in the gym, what about this? I'm always watching top channels like Tom Yankello, Mustafa, that guy from Atlanta is amazing. Man, I'm forgetting Coach Anthony. You know, I'm like, I have a bunch of different channels. I'm probably missing a couple that I should remember. That guy from Russia, Rab Boxing. You know, I'll study all this stuff and I want to bring it to you, but this channel is for beginners. It's back to the shoulder because I'm getting a bit carried away. So if you back to what I was doing, right? This, it's okay. It's not bad. That, boom, boom, boom. You can really like have an impactful, stiff, hard, good, clean, technically sound jab by doing that, you know? Boom, boom, snap it, bop. You get that snap. Let me slow it down, boom, my hand's turning here. And it's not really contracting till the end. Again, that's far higher than a beginner. You don't want to worry about that. I would, make a fist, but don't start clinching it like this because you're going to burn energy, right? Just holding it like this is burning energy in your shoulders. You're going to be tired. Your muscle coordination isn't going to be on point. Meaning like, you're contracting like this. You don't want to be contracted when you're about to throw. All right. So just keep it still. I would just recommend just holding them like this at like 60-70% and then punch, right? Boom. Okay. And just, you got to practice a lot. Obviously that's, a big part of this channel as well is self-discipline and, being the best version you can be. And I know some people have been reaching out to me saying they've been practicing this and practicing that. It's just amazing to hear whatever you can do. And people's got stuff going on in their life and they might not have time to do this. And sometimes it's about priority and what you really want to do. But back to the jab. Yeah, so just think about the energy that you have, right? The poise, the stance that you have is so important. You've got to be relaxed. And you got to push that shoulder just a little bit forward. See that? It's rocking there. Boom, boom, right? You don't have to do that. I'm just letting you know that can give you a bit more power and give a bit more force behind it, right? Boom, like that. Boom. And it's just a small tweak that I feel like can be done. I'm gonna go back to this view for just the last few. I've got so many videos coming up, guys. I really can't wait. I'm probably going to start doing them at this time because it's so beautiful and it's such a better view, better lighting as well. I've got videos coming on about the philosophy of speed, the philosophy of shadow boxing. All right, another major exercise, workout, key, skill, drill that anybody from beginner to professional will absolutely need to do to really advance your skills. Remember Emmanuel Stewart, a legendary Hall of Famer, rest in peace. You know, he used to drill shadow boxing. I remember Lennox Lewis trained with him, and he just used to make Lennox Lewis do, you know, 15, 20 rounds of shadow boxing straight, because it would get his balance good. And that's what he was, it's you know, you really work your footwork, like, you know, you get your good balance, good base, good footwork, get a good jab, you'd be really hard to beat. Anyway, this was just a spontaneous video. As I said, while I'm out here, I just wanted to drop a couple of more tips about the jab. I'll probably do another one next week. Think about something to do with it. Let me know if you have any questions about whatever jab you have that you're struggling with, or maybe that you find that's going well. You know, I love to hear from people that are putting boxing in their life and it's making their life better. You know, someone reached out to me the other day, said he was teaching his nephew or something like that, and I'm like, generally those stories warm my heart like you wouldn't believe. It gives me goosebumps, to be honest with you. Like, I love teaching and I love hearing about people getting better, and you know, like YouTube's a crazy thing. You know, I'm just out here by myself talking to a camera, right? Must look a bit weird, but whatever, I don't really care. And it goes to anywhere in the world, you know, and they can, you know, like learn from it and get something from it, get value from it and put it into their life. And that is amazing. To me, that is, I know YouTube's obviously been around a long time and that's partly the purpose of it, but it still blows my mind. It really does. How just a message can go so far around the world and really impact people. I hope it does anyway. But look, that's it from me. I'm gonna go back. I'm not sure when I'll get this out because I'm trying to really work on that commercial. And as I said, I'm gonna put up a Discord and a Patreon membership where I can really help people directly. And you know, there'll be certain tiers that I'll be including so you can get on the chat and then send videos. And I haven't quite figured it out yet, but I'll be there to help as many people as I can. And that's it from me. I'm probably gonna have a little workout now. It'd be rude not to. And have a good, you know, rest of the week. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Peace, love, boxing on the edge. Henry, I'm out.